Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay, for you all that do not know. Today I come to you and I wanted to make this video about caution versus fear. I feel like with caution and fear, people get those confused a lot. And I just want to break down what I felt like it was. So to me, when a person is being cautious, it means you're protecting yourself while still moving forward. But when you're living in fear, it means a lot of time that you're doing absolutely nothing to make a situation better. And it's just something that you just don't want to do because you're scared. Not because you thought about the different scenarios of how this situation can go, or you know from firsthand experience of how something can go. You're just doing it because you just are afraid to do that thing. And a lot of times fear keeps you stuck, and cautious keeps you safe. That's my basic definition of what I feel that it is. And I be feeling like a lot of people, like I said, get that confused. So let me give you an example of what I mean. And when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about like life, like big things in life, not little small things. I'm talking about dating, jobs, marriage, money. Really, the major things in life. But with fear, it can keep you from even wanting to try some of these things. Okay, so let's use dating as an example. So a person might want to date, but they decide that they're not going to date because they were hurt or rejected in their last relationship. So if a person tells you, well, if you want to date, maybe you should try a dating app and see if that'll help you. So fear would be saying, oh no, I'm afraid of that, I don't want to do that, da 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 da, and you never even try. That would be fear. But if someone gives you an option and you say, okay, well, I'll try it, but these are my boundaries and these are my rules so that I can make sure that I am protected, that's being cautious. That's not being afraid. Say you have a rule of, I don't like driving at night. Some people, especially if you're young, you're in your 20s or whatever the case may be, some people are going to say, oh, you're being old, you're scary, or whatever the case may be. But you put those rules in place because you obviously know yourself. It's something in you that made you make that rule. Maybe it's because you have a hard time seeing at night. Maybe it's because you are the type of person that gets very tired at night and you have a problem with staying woke, and you know that you are not going to be able to stay woke and drive and be alert at that time of night. Maybe you like to drink and you cannot drink and drive because you know that that'll mess up your life. Being cautious. But if you let somebody else tell you that you're being scary, they're going to tell you something different. So this is just how it goes with every part of life. So let's go to the next example. So let's take jobs for an example. Say you want to leave your job, you're not happy. So you have this friend that says, I've been an entrepreneur for how many ever years, and you just need to quit your job and step out on faith. People love to use that term too, step out on faith, as if stepping out on faith mean that you don't want to step out on faith, so that means you're being scared. God gave us wisdom, and he expect us to use it. He don't expect us to just do things and not think about it first. That's not faith to me. You have your own definition of what you feel, and you go by your own definition. But say that person tells you that. So But you're thinking like, maybe I am living in fear. But that person don't have the same responsibilities that you have. That person might not have kids. That person might not own a home. That person might not have parents that are sick. That person might not have the same responsibilities that you have, so that person cannot tell you what it is that you need to be doing. There are different levels of jumping out on faith and taking risks. There are different levels, and different people take different type of risks all the time, depending on what their life looks like. So you have to decide, okay, is this fear or is this me being cautious? Because when you look at your life, it's really you being cautious. Because if you decide you hate your job and you come up with a plan, whereas that's a business plan, you write you out a business plan, you come up with how you're going to save the amount of money you need to be able to live when you do decide to leave your job, and you do have a plan, and your whatever it is that you're trying to do is making some money before you just jump out there, then that's being cautious. But if you decide you're going to stay in your job and you know you're unhappy, you're living in fear. Whether that's stepping out on faith and finding and being an entrepreneur, or if that's looking for another job. So this is one I see a lot. Let's talk about marriage. Marriages can look all kind of ways, different type of people. Everybody has what they feel that their marriage should look like and how it should feel to them. But if you look in media, online, on TV, you'll see that people want your marriage to look like other people's marriage, and that's not always the case. So maybe you meet this person and you feel like this person is special to you, and you would really like things to work out, and you would really like to be married to them, but because y'all relationship don't look like what you think it should look like other people's, you decide you just don't want to get married. Marriage ain't for you. It's not for you. So you're living in fear. But if you're looking at the situation and you're saying, oh, well, this is something that I'm not able to live with long term, and that's why you don't want to get married. Cautious, right? You cautious. You taking precautions to get with your life. Another one I see online all the time is how I think it's called like being a trad wife, where a lot of women want to be stay-at-home moms, and then some older women or some women that has been through it, they'll try to use a fear tactic of you want to have your own, you want to have your own. You don't want to be a stay-at-home mom because it's bad for you in the long term. And I'm not saying that what they're saying is not true, but at the same time, nobody is saying that nothing can't happen. It's the same with a job. It's the same. Anything you're doing has some type of risk associated with it. Nobody's saying that just because you're a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean you have your bank account. And if you decide that you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but because you're listening to somebody else trying to scare you, then you're living in fear. But if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and you're listening to what they're saying, but you're creating a plan so that you can be a stay-at-home mom, then you're being cautious. Because it don't matter what avenue you take in life, you're going to have some type of risk. So I really hope you was able to follow what I was trying to say in this video. So all in all, just to summarize up this video, hope for the best and prepare for the worst, and don't let fear keep you stuck, because it's so many people out here that is letting fear keep them stuck. well, you don't have to stay stuck. If you're afraid of something, all you have to do is use a little caution and keep moving forward. So I want to ask you something. Have you ever confused caution versus fear? If you have, please share your experience down below and we can talk about it. Maybe it's an angle that I'm not seeing, and I would love to hear what you have to say about it. Anyways, I thank you for watching my video, and until next time, see you later. Bye.